Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins. We're experts at AI coaching and helping professionals like you and your employees upskill in AI. Let's start with a pretty startling number. A recent analysis of satellite imagery has revealed something significant. It seems nearly 40% of U.S. data center projects may fail to be completed on schedule this year. Now, this isn't just a construction problem. This points to a critical bottleneck that could directly impact the future of AI. So where does this data come from? Well, it's from a serious analysis by Synmax, a company that specializes in geospatial data analytics, which is a way of saying they analyze satellite imagery, along with the industry research group IIR Energy. This was all reported by Jeremy Hu in Ars Technica on April 17, 2026. This whole situation really highlights what we can call AI's reality gap. What you're seeing is a collision between the massive financial investments flooding into AI infrastructure and the very real, tangible limitations of the physical world. And we're not talking about small projects from minor players here. The analysis shows that major projects from industry giants, think Microsoft, Oracle, and OpenAI, are likely to miss their completion dates by more than 3 months. That tells you this is a systemic, industry-wide challenge. Okay, so what's actually causing these delays? It really boils down to critical bottlenecks in two main areas: physical infrastructure and the massive amount of power required to run it all. Industry executives point to a complex web of shortages. There's a chronic lack of skilled labor, like electricians and pipe fitters. Beyond that, there are severe constraints on power generation and the grid itself. Supply chains for critical imported equipment like transformers are strained. And then you have lengthy permitting and regulatory processes that just add another layer of delay. You really can't overstate the energy problem. Modern AI, especially these large-scale models, requires a staggering amount of computational power. This translates directly into massive electricity consumption for both processing and cooling. The planned build-out demands a level of power that utility companies are struggling to deliver, a problem that's only compounded by geopolitical factors like tariffs on essential equipment from China. But the challenges aren't just logistical or technical. We're also seeing the rise of a significant human factor, and that's the growing local resistance to these massive projects. This is perfectly illustrated in Virginia, which is often called the data center capital of the world. Public opinion there has really started to turn against new development. A recent poll showed a majority of residents are concerned about land use, environmental impacts, and the direct effect these projects will have on their home electricity bills. This raises a fundamental economic and social question. Who should bear the cost of AI's immense power needs? The development of these centers can pressure utility companies to raise electricity rates, which means the financial burden could be passed on to all local customers, not just the tech companies themselves. So, in response to these mounting challenges, companies and lawmakers are starting to deploy a range of solutions, though many of them seem reactive and, frankly, imperfect. To get around the strained electrical grid, some developers are taking some pretty drastic measures. We're talking about installing their own on-site power plants, often using things like mobile gas generators, or even repurposing powerful turbine engines that were originally designed for aircraft and warships. Two pretty distinct approaches are emerging here. On the corporate side, you see pledges like Microsoft's promise to pay its full electricity costs to prevent rate increases. Then you have non-binding political statements like the Ratepayer Protection Pledge. But on the legislative side, the actions are much more decisive. Maine passed an 18-month moratorium on new large data centers, and lawmakers in other states are now considering similar statewide bans. So when you consider all these physical, financial, and social pressures, what does this ultimately mean for the future of AI and for the professionals who rely on it? The fundamental reality is this: the exponential growth of the digital AI industry is tied to the linear, challenging realities of the physical world. While AI models can scale at a staggering pace, the infrastructure they depend on, concrete, steel, power grids, simply cannot. This mismatch creates a significant risk that the pace of AI innovation could be throttled, not by software limitations, but by a worldwide shortage of power and physical space. This leaves us with a final critical question. It suggests that the long-term success of AI isn't just about better algorithms, but also about sustainable energy, supply chain resilience, and public consent. As we all race forward, we have to ask, is the AI revolution building a future that our physical infrastructure and our communities cannot actually support?
Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, please use the QR code at the beginning of this video to buy us a coffee or hire us to coach you or your employees in AI. We also recommend you subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. And please do like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience.